You feel it, the weight of always getting it, the ache behind your eyes, the hollowness in your chest. You're the one who always listens when others are too tired. You're the one who sees the cracks in their stories, even when they can't see them themselves. It's not that you want to be the one who understands, it's just that you feel it in your bones. And now, you're tired. Tired of being the one who holds the space when no one else will. You're the one who always knows how to reach them. The friend who shows up in the middle of the night, the coworker who fixes the team's fractures without being asked, the partner who hears the words they didn't mean to say. You're the one who always gets it. But you don't get yourself, not the way you wish you did. And that silence, it's louder than the rest of the world combined. You're the one who feels the weight of others' emotions as if they're your own. You carry it without asking for help. You feel it all, the anger, the sadness, the loneliness. And it's not yours, but somehow you carry it. You're always the one who understands, and it's not because you're strong. It's because you're exhausted in ways no one else can see. You know the pattern. It starts with a whisper. A friend texts you at 3 a.m. because they're overwhelmed. A family member calls during the day, desperate for someone to talk to. A coworker asks for your advice on something they think no one else can help with. You always say yes because you always feel like you're the only one who can. But the pattern isn't just about being needed, it's about being the only one who can see the truth in others. You see the parts of others that are hidden, the parts that are broken, the parts that are unspoken. You know how to listen when no one else will, but you don't know how to listen to yourself. You don't know how to say no. You don't even know what you're feeling because you're too busy feeling everything else. And that's the pattern. You're the one who always understands, but you never understand the cost. Why does this happen? It starts in the silent corners of your childhood. Maybe you were the one who knew how to comfort your parents when no one else could. Maybe you learned early that being the one who understands is the only way to feel safe. Or maybe you were simply too sensitive for the world you grew up in. You learned that your feelings mattered, even if no one else's did. And that taught you a powerful, invisible truth. You are not meant to be seen, only to be needed. This is how it grows. You learn to be the one who understands because you don't know how to ask for help. You don't know how to set boundaries because you've never been taught that it's okay to say no. You carry the weight of others because you think that's what you're supposed to do. You believe that being the one who understands makes you valuable. And over time, that belief becomes a kind of armor. You feel safe in the pain because it's the only way you know how to be seen. This is how it continues. You keep showing up, even when it hurts. You keep listening, even when you're empty. You keep understanding, even when you're exhausted. It's a cycle that's hard to break because you've never known a world where you weren't the one who understood. It's a cycle that's hard to break because you're afraid that if you stop, no one else will. And that fear becomes a kind of loyalty to the people who need you even when they don't need you. But here's the reframe. You're not broken. You're not flawed. You're not failing. You're simply a human who was born with a rare kind of empathy. It's not a weakness. It's not a flaw. It's a gift. And that gift can be a source of strength if you learn how to use it. The pain you feel is not because you're not enough. It's because you've been carrying too much for too long. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply tired. Tired of being the one who always understands. Tired of feeling the weight of others' pain like it's your own. Tired of carrying the world because you think that's what you're supposed to do. But here's the truth. The world doesn't need you to carry it. It needs you to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. This is not a flaw. This is a sign that you have a deep capacity for compassion. It's a sign that you are wired to connect, to listen, to understand. It's not a weakness, it's not a burden. It's a strength that needs to be nurtured. You're not broken, you're not failing, you're simply human, and you're carrying a gift that the world needs. But it's a gift that needs to be given with boundaries, with care, with self-awareness. You are not alone in feeling this way. You are not alone in the exhaustion of always being the one who understands. There are others who carry the same weight, and that weight is not yours to carry alone. It's time to stop pretending that you're okay when you're not. It's time to stop pretending that you don't need help when you do. It's time to stop pretending that you're not worthy of being heard. You are not a hero. You are not the savior. You are simply a human who has been given the gift of understanding. But that gift is not meant to be used up. It's meant to be used with care, with boundaries, with compassion for yourself. You are not defined by the people you understand. You are defined by the way you understand yourself, and that is something you deserve to be seen for. This is not a failure. This is not a flaw. It's a sign that you are deeply human. It's a sign that you have the capacity to feel, to listen, to understand. And that is not a weakness. That is a strength. That is a gift that can be used to heal, to connect, to grow. You don't have to be the one who always understands. You don't have to carry the world, but you can choose to carry yourself with care, with compassion, with self-awareness. What can you do? Start with the smallest steps. Learn how to say no. Learn how to set boundaries. Learn how to ask for help. These are not weaknesses. They are acts of self-care. They are acts of strength. They are acts of healing. You can choose to be the one who understands, but not at the cost of your own well-being. You can choose to be seen even if you're not the one who always gets it. Start with the smallest act of self-compassion. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to pause. Take a moment to say, I am not alone. I am not broken. I am not failing. I am simply tired. And that is okay. These are not words to ignore. These are words to hold on to. These are words that can change the way you see yourself, not as the one who always understands, but as the one who is worthy of being understood. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are simply human, and that is enough. That is more than enough. You are not the one who always understands. But that doesn't mean you can't understand yourself. That doesn't mean you can't find peace. That doesn't mean you can't learn to carry yourself with care. You are not defined by the weight you carry. You are defined by the way you choose to carry it, with grace, with strength, with self-awareness. You are not alone in this. You are not alone in the exhaustion of always being the one who understands. There are others who feel this way, and that is not a failure. That is a sign of your depth, a sign of your capacity for compassion, a sign that you are not broken. You are simply tired, and that is okay. You are not the one who always understands. But that doesn't mean you can't understand yourself. That doesn't mean you can't heal. That doesn't mean you can't heal. That doesn't mean you can't grow. That is not weakness. That is not failure. That is not a flaw. That is maturity. That is self-awareness. That is the beginning of a new story, not one where you are always the one who understands, but one where you finally understand yourself. That is not the end of your journey. That is the beginning of your healing. What would it look like if you said no, just once? What would it look like if you asked for help, just once? What would it look like if you listened to yourself, just once? These are not questions you have to answer right now. These are questions that can guide you. These are questions that can help you begin to carry yourself, not just others. You are not the one who always understands, but you can choose to understand yourself. That is the beginning of your healing. That is the beginning of your growth.